Are you and your significant other both mentally ill? That sounds really bad, but I'm just wondering if you have either the same mental illnesses or different ones and how you cope. At the end of the video, I'll explain to you how my fiance and I, how we cope and how we get through the rough times. But day to day is a struggle because we can understand how one another feels, but when we are both bipolar, the mania can get a little out of hand. He's more newly diagnosed, whereas I've been bipolar for a long time, so I have better control over it and the situations. Even though I can say, let's get this, and he'll say, okay, he'll jump. Where he usually doesn't suggest that we get much, because he knows whether or not, he usually knows pretty much whether or not I'll agree or disagree. And, we managed to work things out. We've asked doctors, we've asked psychiatrists, we've asked therapists how two people who have bipolar manage. And they all have the same answer. We don't know. So that doesn't really help us very much. We just kind of wing it. We've been together for just over 8 years. I was straightforward with him when we met about my disability, because it is a disability. I have numerous mental illnesses as well as physical problems, mobility problems, and arthritis, and the list would take up a whole week's worth of videos. But we managed the hard things. He also has rage, which can be difficult to deal with, and I'm the only one who can calm him down. He gets all wound up. He comes home after going somewhere and tells me how he got wound up, and I'm like, I wish I would have been there, because I would have calmed him down, because it's to where he could get arrested. He gets so out of control. Not physically, not violent, just yelling and expressing his feelings in a very loud way. And I wish I could be there to calm him down, because I'm the only one who can calm him down. We haven't tried the police yet, but I know for sure that I can calm him down. But as for daily life, most of it is petty. It's just he said, she said, no this, yes that, why aren't you doing this, why aren't you doing that? Because we're both on disability, so we're both home most of the days, unless we have doctor's appointments, and that's about all we can afford to do, because the state and the government, they don't pay much. Everybody says, oh, you're so lucky, I wish I could stay home all day, oh, I wish I didn't have to work. Well, you know what, we do wish we had to work. We do wish that we earned that income. Yes, he worked enough to get the better income, if you want to call it that. It is income. They consider it unearned income. But I didn't work. I was a stay-at-home parent for 20 plus years, and I worked very little. I shouldn't say I didn't work. I worked very little. But most of it's petty. It's like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Go play your game. So, now we have a house that we have a lot of room. Sorry, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, because I got up at 5 o'clock this afternoon thinking it was 5 o'clock in the morning, because I finally got some sleep. But anyway, we now have enough space. This house, we just moved down here a little over a year ago, and we have like twice the space. So he has his space, I have my space. Not my space from the 2010, 2008. I think it was 2006, 2007. Not that my space. But my own space. I have my computer office that I spend most of my time in. I do my YouTube videos. I go on Facebook. I read the news. Not any news concerning, anything that has to do with the government, because you might as well just, they can just shove it. I try not to talk about politics because it just gets you in trouble. But yeah, we cohab fairly well. If we have issues, we walk away, and but I would say that overall it's the same things that a regular non-mental couple goes through, but I would say even less, because of the fact of what I'm going to tell you. Our secret is, and we do have a secret. I'm just not going to tell you yet. I'm going to keep you guessing, because it's what most people wouldn't guess, because even the professionals can't tell us. We had to figure it out on our own, and we did. But we make a lot of decisions together. Most of the decisions, yeah, we do make together, because, well, we have to live together. We can't get married. It's the dumbest thing. If we would get married, they would take my disability away. Married couples get penalized. So if you do get SSI, and you are in a, I was going to say an arranged marriage. Oh God. I need to, stop making so many videos and spending too much time with myself. No, if you are in a relationship and both of you get disability, you can't get married. It's a marriage penalty. You get penalized for being committed to another person. It's the dumbest thing. It's so stupid. And then with food stamps, or whatever you want to call them, I get $23. I might get more with the new year, but it's probably only going to be like $2, $3. What can you buy with that? So we have no choice but to go to food pantry, where most of the time the food is out of date, or it's stale, or it's rotten. We've gone to some pretty bad food banks before, but now the one where we live is pretty good. The ladies expect us, and they give us some shit, and we give it back, and they're pretty cool people. Where we moved to is a very tiny little village. We moved from a larger city to a tiny village, and we love it because we have more privacy. Sure, people know our names, they know us, they wave. If they want to talk to us, they do. If they don't, they don't. Our neighbors are close, but we don't always have to talk to them. And they're really nice people, that we know. And I always say, the saying I always say is, if you want to know anything about yourself, go to the post office. Because we don't get our mail delivered at the house. We have to have a post office. That's how small of a village we live in. But the closest gas station or store is 8 miles either way. Otherwise, and that's only open usually till 10. And then otherwise, the big city that we go to, like to Walmart and Menards and things like that, that is, I thought it was 30 miles away, but it's like, I don't know, 20 to 30. I don't drive, so time means nothing, miles mean nothing, except I know the 8 and 8. You know, I mean, the post office is a block and a half away, and I can get lost because I don't drive. I had a knee replacement that was over 5 years ago and failed. So driving is not my thing. I can and I will if I have to, but not long distances. We moved 5.5 hours away and I had to drive, but we bought a SUV, so it was a little easier for me than our pickup. We've got a pickup and it's the extended everything pickup. It's big, and I had pickups, I had SUVs, I had all that before I had this knee surgery, and I didn't have a problem. But anyway, I get to talking because I don't really go anywhere because I have agoraphobia, that I don't like going places. If I have to go, or if I want to go, I just stay in the vehicle just so I can get out of the house. I don't get out much. I get out to go to the doctor. I don't like going places I don't know. So anyway, as for being I don't want to say bipolar couple, because I have borderline personality, I have PTSD, I have ADD, I have I have more mental. I'm more mental, but I'm smarter than he is, and he knows that. I'm the brains and he's the brawn, where I'll come up with the ideas of things, and then he'll implement them, as in, okay, I want that dresser moved over here, he'll move it, because I can't. But I'll think of, oh, let's do this, and then, he'll do it. So, yeah, we managed to manage pretty well. The secret to our relationship being so good, for the most part, I mean, everybody has their bumps, everybody has their disagreements, everybody has, and if they don't, they're full of shit. That's our opinion, because no marriage, no relationship is perfect unless it's a month old. Again, that's just our opinions, because we have a great relationship because we stay away from each other. No, it's because of the secret. And if you'd like to know that secret, it is communication. We vowed when we met that we would communicate. We would tell each other everything. And sure, you can hear couples say, oh yeah, we tell each other everything. The reality is, do they? Do they really tell each other everything there is to tell? And I've heard it before. The truth is, they don't. They don't leave out that little detail, that $10 they spent. I'm talking about petty shit, but I'm saying even big things. Do they tell each other every little thing? Do I tell them that I put mushrooms in the hamburger helper? Yeah, I do, because I know it's gonna... Because that was our pact when we met, is honesty and, communication, and, all the other love, trust, all that came down the line. But the communication was number one. That was the most important thing on the list. So we do. We have the communication, we have the honesty, we have, our, even because he has rage, I want to say I don't let him get away with it. Um, it's, don't pull that bullshit on me, because it doesn't work. I can see through it. I know how to handle it. It doesn't work on me. If you want to go and have your rage, you go down in the basement, you go to your workshop, you go where you go, but don't try to pull that bullshit on me, because I don't tolerate it. There's no reason why I should. Now, when I throw a fit, he clears the room on purpose. Because, again, I don't take any shit, because there's no reason why I should. There's no reason why anybody should. It should be equal, it should be fair, and first and foremost, honest and communicate. I can't read your mind any more than you can read mine. But you can try. We have that where it'll be, honey, I have something to ask you, or I have something to tell you. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. It takes trust. But number one is communicate. And when you have mental illnesses, it makes it harder, because, I have PTSD. I've had trauma. I've had abuse. So you have trust issues. So you don't know, even though we've been together 8 years, can I trust that he's going to be understanding, that he's going to accept what I have to tell him? It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's worth it. Don't give up just because, the going gets tough, the tough get going. No. You stick it out, and it's worth it. There's a lot of things, but the key to a mental relationship is communication. You have to express to each other how you're feeling, what you're going through. I got put on new meds. I need you to know that, because in case I have an allergic reaction, I need you to know why. You see, there's more to it than just, there's just more to it than the basic. It's like your regular relationship communication amped up, because there are situations where, yeah, I suppose if your regular relationship, you're on a new medication, and the other person has to know in case there's, some side effects and things like that. But when it comes to psych meds, those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are the ones that have the side effects that could go bad real fast. So the other person needs to know about that. And then you need one person who's kind of the boss. But don't tell anybody. I need to make sure his meds are filled. He's also had 3 strokes, or so they think. After 2 states of different doctors, states as in, like Maine and Missouri, with, Mississippi and Idaho, 2 states of different doctors and different specialists and different tests, and just, it's ridiculous. They still don't know shit. It's, he has a hole in his heart. That was the one that freaked us out, and that was the latest one. He has a hole in his heart. It's very, very tiny. It's a pinhole. But everybody's born with a hole in their heart, is what we were told. And usually they heal up. And his didn't heal up, or close up, I should say. So a blood clot can get in there and go to his brain. And that's what they thought, because he had 3 strokes. But when we went to see the surgeon, the surgeon said, no, this hole isn't big enough to cause that, and I'm not going to do surgery because there isn't enough evidence that surgery would solve the problem of not having another stroke. And he doesn't even think that was the issue of the strokes. So, I finally said, fuck this. If I were you, I'll be 53, he just turned 52. Why don't you just do like I do? Live your life. Live your life the way you want. Live your life on what makes you happy. If you want to drink, which we don't, if you want to smoke, which we do, if you want to smoke pot, it's legal here. If you want to drive a motorcycle, don't come home. If you, do the things, don't let your so-called strokes that you supposedly had, because we were told he did, we were told he didn't. Don't let these things hold you back anymore. Don't go get testing anymore. Don't go and pursue this anymore. It's not worth it. It's been causing us like 4 years of agony of it could be this, it could be that. Could. Fuck that. How much more can a person take? So I told him if I was him, live like I do. Eat what you want, drink what you want, do what you want. Because you know what? You're gonna die anyway, just like me. He thinks he's gonna outlive me. Maybe. We're not married, but we own the house 50-50. We have wills that we have filled out. And I just realized, I'm like, we have to go to the bank and have the wills, signed and notarized. But we need witnesses. It's like, oh shit, I just realized that we need witnesses. So I gotta gather around some people I don't know and have them. But I believe the tellers at the bank can be the witnesses because they don't have to be related or anything like that. I'm gonna have to have him call the bank again. But anyway, SSI, you can only have certain amounts of assets. You can have only $2,000 in the bank, or, you can only have $2,000. You can have one car, one house, and that's about it. When you have SSDI, you can have unlimited everything. You can have 100 cars, 100 houses, $100,000. So I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, it's not. But, I own half the house. If something happens to him, I get his possessions. Anyway, it's a mental relationship. And if you are in one, well, my lips are dry, so they get stuck together. My last marriage was 15 years. My husband couldn't handle the mental part of me. So he waited till the kids were old enough and then divorced me and left me with absolutely nothing at all. So that's just a sap story that I'm not going to get into. I'm just telling you that I was in a relationship that wasn't a mental relationship. It was in a somewhat normal relationship, and he couldn't handle it. And he's a fucking pussy. So that's how I really feel. And usually I express how I really feel. And if you haven't figured that out, you haven't been watching my channel long enough. So with that, I'm going to wish you well. Today is the 24th anniversary that my 8-year-old son passed away. So this may be today's video, unless I'm feeling up to it. I'm not sure. But I had a thought, and that was it. Mental relationships. People who are both mental. I call it mental because isn't it Isn't it mental illnesses? Isn't it mental issues? It's mental. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you're a little different. For the most part, I'm pretty happy. Right now, it's double depression. It's seasonal depression and bipolar depression. So it's pretty tough. I can watch TV and cry over whatever, but it is what it is. I don't cry for all summer, all spring, all fall, but come winter and it's waterworks. And I just isolate and do these goofy videos. I take my videos very seriously with a side of sarcasm. Is that an oxymoron? I hope so, because I have a very good sense of humor and I want to make people happy. That's my goal. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you subscribe to me so you can come back and see what else I have up my sleeves, because you never know. So I have a new camera and I'm excited to use it, and I hope that my videos get better as I go. Because right now I'm not so confident and I'm trying really hard. So you have a fantastic day. Bye.